I get this question fairly often and it warrants a video. When is the right time to sell my investment property, or should I sell my investment property? Property is a long-term investment vehicle. I wouldn't recommend holding it for any less than 5 years at least. And so that being said, here are 5 signs that it's right to sell your investment property. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, who does this bloke think he is? My name is Gianni Musumeci. I'm the director and founder of Leverage Property Advisors. I've spent 20 years in the finance industry, 12 of those in financial planning. I've literally written hundreds, if not thousands of pieces of financial advice. I have a degree in financial planning, I have a diploma in financial services, and a few other accreditations. I started my own investment property advice firm because I see people making mistakes left, right, and center when it comes to purchasing an investment property. And to be completely frank, real estate has such a low barrier to entry. You can get a Cert 4, get your real estate license in a weekend, and you can be trading property next week. So my main goal is to educate people and get them to avoid making mistakes when it comes to investing in property. Before we get into it, a quick word. This is not financial advice, it's just considerations that you need to take into account. I strongly suggest that you speak to a financial planner, mortgage broker, legal representative, accountant around any specific circumstances that you have in your life right now and around your personal scenario. Please do not act on anything in this video solely. Please take it with a grain of salt and understand if it's applicable to you. So look, here's the first sign. And it's pretty simple. When you've reached your goal and you need to use the funds, the capital amount to meet your goal, then you should consider selling property. Then you should consider selling your property, especially when it's a capital amount. Now, be sure to calculate how much you need to meet your goal as well, and understand what the exit costs are going to be associated with selling your investment property. For example, some of the exit costs associated with selling your investment property are going to be your sales costs and commission for the sales agent, marketing costs, legal fees, any mortgage discharge fees, capital gains tax, and a number of other smaller exit fees as well associated with selling your investment property. So before you go selling it, just because you feel that you've met your goal, calculate your exit costs as well and incorporate them into the final amount. The next sign is when your property is no longer performing. So when you do a regular review on your property and you see that the leading indicators are starting to slow, the trend of growth is starting to slow, and you don't feel that your property is going to perform in the short or long term, then you can consider selling your investment property. Again, consider your exit costs as well to ensure you're not making a loss, and consider timing your exit as well. It doesn't mean you need to sell it straight away. At the same time, you want to time your exit appropriately. When you are assessing the performance or future performance of your investment property, be sure to use leading indicators. Consider if you would buy this property again in the current market if you had your time over. That's always a good basis point. The third sign is when the opportunity cost is just too great. Sometimes there might be a better performing market elsewhere and you don't have the capital savings associated with purchasing in that market or in another investment vehicle, whatever it may be. And your property is performing okay, but at the end of the day, it's not shooting the lights out. I would consider selling it to take up the other opportunity if the other opportunity is more appealing and has a better potential growth rate. The fourth sign that you should consider selling your investment property is when you're under financial stress or duress. I see this more and more nowadays, and it's an unfortunate fact that household costs have risen, and so have the costs associated with holding an investment property. There's no shame in selling if you are under financial stress. At the end of the day, you've got to eat. You've got to put a roof over your head. So that being said, again, time your exit appropriately. Don't sell it for anything just because it's being a burden. Consider your exit plan and ensure that you're not making too much of a loss, if any. The fifth and final sign that you should sell your investment property is when your strategy has changed. Look, we go through different lifestyle stages. In our early days, we might be looking to have a bit of a blend of capital growth and rental yield. As wealth accumulators, we might be looking for more capital growth. And then when we move into the retiree stage, we might be looking for something that has a little bit more rental yield to fund our lifestyle expenses in retirement. So that being said, when your lifestyle stage changes or your strategy changes, then your investment vehicles will also change. And that goes the same with investment property as well. So if your strategy has changed, you might be more of a capital growth mindset, and you now might be looking to move into the retirement phase of your life. You may need to switch it up into more of an income focused strategy. So that being said, it might be more appropriate to sell your current investment property in favor of another investment property style, or even another investment vehicle altogether, like shares or managed funds or whatever. Thank you very much for watching. If you do have any questions on this video or any other signs that you should sell your investment property, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to speak to you. Otherwise, do me a solid and subscribe for more investment property updates. Thanks again. Speak to you soon.